All right, in this third section, I'm going to show you my return process. This is the third part of the work that I do every single day, where I look at my returns over here. So this is going to be the first video, and I'm just going to show you the return area and talk to you about the different stages a return goes through. And then in the next video, I'm going to show you how I produce return labels, which is obviously what a return is, right? So for now, let's look here. We have 20 results in this page in eBay, and you can find this by going to orders and then returns. I usually use bookmarks, so you can see my bookmarks up here, returns. If you scroll down, you see that there's a couple different fields of information here. We have the See Details link for each one of these items, which will give you the ability to look at the case itself, contact the buyer, or report the buyer. We then have a column that shows all of the photos of the item. After that, we have the item's name. After that, we have the status of the return, and this is the most important part because this tells you when you need to respond by. Nothing bad will happen to you and your account standing as long as you provide a return label by the date in this that's shown here. After this date, the buyer can escalate the case and have eBay decide against you, and that can count against your account. So as long as you always respond before the date in this column here, you're going to be fine. And even sometimes you can respond afterwards because the buyer has to actively report you to eBay once this time period has passed in order to escalate a case against you. So it's not the end of the world if you respond to this on the 26th. Just keep in mind that by letting that time period pass, you are making yourself vulnerable. Okay? So then you're also going to see the return ID, and that's the number that you're going to use anytime that you talk to eBay. You're going to tell them the return ID, and that'll allow them to pull the return case up straight away. It's going to show the date that the return was requested and also the reason for the return that the buyer stated. Obviously, sometimes they'll say things like doesn't work when really they just don't want it anymore, that kind of thing. It's all part of the experience. The second to last column is the refund amount, and then the last column is the buyer's username. And this is the column that I use the most because the fastest way to find information about the buyer and the order that you placed in the buyer's name is to look in your email account for their eBay username. That'll bring up a copy of the sales record, and then you look at the sales record to find the buyer's actual name, and then you look that up in your email account, and then that brings you a direct link to the Walmart order or the order with the source because you shipped an item to that person and their name is in the address line, right? So that's the fastest way to identify, okay, the buyer wants to return this item. What if we sent them the wrong item on purpose? Or like, what if something happened? Well, we can still identify the shipment that was sent to that buyer. So that's the quickest way to isolate the shipment instead of going through like a list of the orders that you've recently purchased and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to take a minute to show you this page, and then in the next video, I'm going to explain how to go about providing the label. Okay? I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.